I knock on the door of the art room and open it. A girl who was possibly doing something important with the scroll of paper she's carrying turns to back to me and smiles in a sweet, if a bit confused manner. So let's have a look-see around here. This obviously must be the blind guy. Rin's over here. This guy might be missing an ear. Don't really know what to really say about that one, other than her eyes look a bit odd like that. And she kind of, I don't know, maybe it's because of the way she's standing. I thought it was like a teacher at first, but it's not. It's also the hair as well, kind of gives that kind of formalish look to it, to just like, oh yes, yes, or something. I don't even know what I'm talking about. Actually, she looks even more like she'd be a teacher now. Hello, this is the art club, right? Yep, you interested in joining? Yeah, in fact, I might already have done so, but we'll see. I give her a weak smile and her own widens a notch, making me feel less nervous. I mean, seriously, she has like a kind of, you know, formal, dignified kind of teacher look to her. I don't even know if that makes any sense, but she just looks like, you know, a teacher. It's like, what does a teacher look like? Teachers all look different. You got like the old teachers, you got the young teachers, you got like substitute teachers, you've got, I don't even know, various different teachers, different ages and parents, all. So there'd be no different look of it, but for some reason, I'd actually clicked off the game. Visual novel. But for some reason, as I was saying, I just kind of assumed that she kind of looks like a teacher. And I don't know if that makes sense or not, but whatever. Great, have a seat, then we'll start when the teacher gets here. But you look like a teacher! Without even scouting the room for a good spot, I walk quickly to the back of the room and settle myself on a free seat apart from everyone else. So we have another guy here and someone at the desk that just like, are you a member of the art club? No, I just come in here to sleep. So don't know what these two are here for. It's like I've just like becoming a bit like Rin there. It's just like, oh yeah. So you just go up to everyone in here and just like, so what brings you to this school? I mean, that guy's blind. He's missing an ear, so what's you free? What's your reason here? It's like, that's a bit rude. A few other members are lounging in their seats, waiting for the teacher. Rin sits alone in a window seat, looking outside. She's the only person here that I know, although a guy I've never really gotten along with from my own class is here too. Good to readjust. Yeah, I'll just lie down. Nobody else comes to greet me. Maybe introductions are left for later, so I just settle for silent observation as well. One boy has sunglasses on, an odd sight indoors. Were we not at Yamaku, I'll bet he's the blind student Rin was talking about. The wait proves to be extremely short. Know me, observer to stand behind his desk in three long strides, then gives a smile of love and greeting. Good afternoon, everyone. First things first, Hisao there is a new member, so everyone gets along with him. He winks at me unsettlingly. All 8 members of the club, including myself, answer his greeting with considerably less enthusiasm. Still, people finally straighten up in their seats and begin to pay attention. I think some of you still have projects to work on, so please continue with those if you like. As for the rest, I was thinking that today we could do some rough studies. How does that sound? Nobody answers except with some unintelligible murmurs, which Nome apparently interprets as unanimous approval. Alright then, everyone not working on other projects, choose a partner and draw a sketch of one another. You should be able to complete this today, but if not, we can continue it next time, or even do it again if you find it interesting. Remember to pay attention to lighting and shading, and give it your best. Pairing up? I feel pretty awkward about it, hardly knowing anyone here. I wish someone would ask me to be their partner. Gee, I wonder who it could be. You know, like I mentioned it's mentioned this a number of times in this LP, really, that I had to be taught at home. Not all from school or anything like that, but there came a point, essentially, where I'd end up being taught at home because of anxiety, stuff like that. But I remember, like, having a few art classes. I never actually had this situation where it's like, okay, partner up and draw the other person and the other person draw you, kind of thing, or something like that. The only thing I can remember is, like, literally they put like this kind of skull of a cow or something. You're just like, okay, sketch that. And it's just like, okay, why not? And I got a good result out of it, apparently. People stand up and move their chairs closer together, but nobody comes to me. Pretty soon everyone else is paired off. Friends team up with each other, but I'm left alone. Well, there's Rin. She's sitting in the first corner of the classroom, still staring out the window and seemingly uninterested in taking part in the exercise. Since she's the only other one without a partner, I walk to her seat. I can't see her face because her hair is covering most of it and she's looking away from me. Rin? I call out to her, no response. Hey, want to partner up? You're the only one I know here. She seems to have finally acknowledged my presence, head turning like a robot as she looks to see who is addressing her. Rin doesn't answer and I don't want to repeat the question either. I'm sure she heard it the first time. Why doesn't she say anything? It can't be such an awful fate to be paired up with me, can it? She doesn't look at my face and instead stares directly at my chest and stomach. Oh, okay, why not? Okay, good, great. I'll get the stuff for us. Looking at the equipment Omaya has prepared for today's meeting confuses me. Instead of graphite or pencils, we are apparently supposed to do ink sketches. I've never done anything like that before. The teacher, however, seems confident in my abilities to adapt to the medium. Simple! First you do the outlines in ink, you let them dry, and then you shade with the edited ink. This is called India ink. It works like watercolors. I don't think I have experience in this field either. If you're uncomfortable with it, use a pen instead of a brush for the outlines. Got it. I pick up paper, water cups, one pen for me, one brush for Rin, and ink for both of us, then return to Rin. Grabbing a vacated chair from nearby, I seat myself directly opposite her. You want me to do it with my foot or my mouth? What is A? She tilts her head, her brows forming questioning arches, as if she doesn't understand that I didn't understand the question. I don't mind drawing either way. You'd look better if I do it with my foot, though. With your foot, then, if it's all the same to you. Nodding in answer, Rin gets up from her seat and kicks off her sandals. In two fluid motions, she picks up the paper sheet and drops it on the floor, then snatches the brush between her toes before sitting on the floor in a weird half-cross-legged position. Although I've seen her do everything with her feet already, from eating to painting, this display of dexterity is so... I just stare at her, startled. Rin contemplates her blank paper intently. The sharp tip of her brush hovers over the paper in anticipation. When she raises her head to see if I'm ready, I quickly turn my face away. I'll go first. Make a pose. What kind of a pose? It doesn't matter, that's the point. You have to make the sketch of the impression you got, not decide beforehand. I end up just sitting in my chair, my hands hanging limply between my knees. I look at her and she looks at me for a moment before beginning. Rin's stare is piercing but impassive, as if she were trying to absorb a part of me into her own self. I feel like I'm physically shrinking under the pressure of her gaze. I get the feeling that for the first time since we met, Rin is actually looking at me instead of my general direction. She sketches with confident, bold sweeps of the delicate brush, not caring about the potentially destructive consequences of an accidentally misplaced stroke. After she's happy with the outline, she stands up to pose for me, stretching her back and legs. This time she doesn't look at me, instead Rin lets her gaze wander around the room. I'm relieved, it's easier to stare at someone when they aren't staring back at you. Even so, I find it hard to get the sketch going. I'm not especially artistically talented, so I'm scared my portrait will turn into something disfigured, especially when compared to my partner's skill. I don't want to embarrass myself too badly on first try. Rin does not help in the process either. She doesn't stand still for even 10 seconds, tilting her head from side to side to judge her drawing, biting at her lower lip, looking unsatisfied, and constantly shuffling around like she was on hot coals. I finally managed to make some headway on my sketch, and with my outlines done, we both start inking on the shadow and light. Maya passes by and remarks on the beginnings of our sketches. Very good. Standing figure is easier for a beginner to get a grasp of. But I didn't choose the pose. Look at him and then at Rin in confusion, but he's already moving on to the next pair, and Rin seems unresponsive. Just like when she was painting the mural, Rin has become so engrossed with her work that it seems that she has shut me in the classroom and the entire world itself out from her own little sphere of existence. Every now and then she leans backwards, seemingly to get some perspective. Sometimes she bends forward, leaning down until her nose almost touches the paper. Just rocking back and forth looks silly. Suddenly Rin proves she hasn't completely drifted off into a world of her own and speaks. Are you having fun already? She doesn't raise her eyes from the drawing, which is a good thing. The breaking of the silence sends a jolt of surprise for me, as if I'd been electrocuted. I don't know yet. It's hard to say. I can't hear how she replies to my answer because it seems she is suddenly having a private, whispered conversation with her sketch. I don't understand how she can draw so well when she has the attention span of a butterfly. As it seems she lost her interest, I go back to work on my drawing as well. I try to add texture to Rin's hair to somehow grasp the way the golden afternoon sun lights her bright red tossel aflame and transfer it to my paper in shades of black and grey. I don't know why I go into accents randomly though. Somehow this pen and the bottle of ink seem like such lousy inadequate tools for the task. Minutes pass, but the sketch doesn't magically look any more like Rin than it did before. Her voice wakes me up from my despair. What about now? Excuse me? Are you having fun already? Why do you keep asking that? Because it's a club, right? Clubs are meant to be fun. You join to have fun. You having fun? Is it important that I'm having fun? Yes. Okay, I'm having fun. Good. I wonder if I said that just to please or if I really meant it. I can't really decide which it was. I don't hate this, though I can honestly say that much. It's good enough for now. As the only time to finish the studies quickly ticks away, I desperately try to improve my awful sketch, but it doesn't seem to get any better. I want to start again from scratch, but what would be the point? There's no time for that either. Okay, everyone, that's it for today. Please turn in the drawings on my desk, and I'll see you all next Monday. I glance at my portrait. It doesn't exactly look like Rin. I guess you could say it's a tracer, but that might be a bit generous. Well, Hisao, I will review your drawing here. It goes over the lines, so you gotta work on that. And the eyes, you're better at me with that, cause I'm bad at getting it, properly lined up. So, face seems alright, hair seems sort of okay. Lacking in detail, but okay. Body proportion seems much better than what I do, because I tend to only draw to, say, here of a character. When I used to draw a lot, because I'm crap at drawing the body shapes of characters. I'm more, focused on, the face. Like the hair, for example, I tend to go into a lot of detail. I'll again use I'll show the drawing that I did of Mizuzu from Air as right here. Because I found that is a good example of, when I go, all out on trying to add hair detail, I spent hours on drawings like that. And the colouring in even more. But yes, I think it's okay. I think it's alright for a first out there, Hisao. The nose and jaw look hideous. It just seems weird, really, isn't it? Because to them, it's just... Noses are non-existent almost here in this. Rin doesn't even have much of a nose. I mean, they just like... Unless you see him from the side, it's barely noticeable. So it never really has much detail unless it's like a character like Moya, for example. But it always seems to be more focused about the eyes when it comes to the face than the nose or the mouth. But whatever. And the shading is terrible. Granted, it's my first attempt at drawing with ink, but it's still pretty bad. Yeah, the shading could use a bit of work here and there. I mean, you went over the line a bit here. But hey, I think it's okay-ish, sort of. That's not bad. She sneaked up behind me while I was lost in thought. Damn it, I was hoping I could smuggle a portrait to the teacher without you seeing it. Why? I'm not really happy with it. I wish I could draw better. Just need some practice. Could you take my drawing to the teacher too? Curious myself about how the sketch turned out. I picked a picture from the way Rin was drawing. It looked like she was really into it. Holy shit. It's excellent somehow. The seemingly arbitrary strokes come together to form an image on my face, from the shape of my chin to the messy hair to the somewhat gloomy expression. It's just like, what am I even doing here? Really? That is pretty nice. The shading is much more detailed, obviously. A sketch blows my mind. What is the answer here that I'm supposed to give? I'll check. You're amazing! Wow, you're amazing. It's not that amazing. The facts. And take a close look at her work. It's still glistening with slowly drying ink. You know, I look kind of grim here. You do look kind of grim, I mean, I agree, but it's also true otherwise too. Like this you, not the you I made. I do. I think so, at least. A simple statement makes me suddenly feel incredibly self-conscious. I feel like I need a mirror right now to confirm or debunk Rin. It's a nasty feeling. I kind of know that. It's like... I know, anytime I see a picture of myself, like when I've like... I don't know. Especially since getting my glasses, like, when... Like, I've... only got a few pictures of me when I've actually got my glasses, and anytime I see a picture, I'm always like, man, do I really look like that? Just like, huh. And when I'm around people a lot, I tend to appear very kind of stone-faced and lacking in emotion and all that. So I just like, to other people, and then it's just like, But it's usually more of when I actually kind of like, if I have a smirk on my face where I thought of like something sarcastic or something like that, I like when someone comments on it, it's like in my mind making a mental note. Okay, this needs reinforcing on the stone wall. Try not to show too much emotion. I don't know why I do that, it's just kind of, I don't know. The anxiety, I suppose. Maybe it's just her. I hope it's just her and that I don't look like that sketch to everyone. It's a good sketch, but somehow I get a really oppressive feeling from it. Honestly, this kind of reminds me of how I look, really. It's just like a kind of like gloomy-ish look. It's just kind of like, it's kind of bored, annoyed, and just generally kind of like, I think that's how I look around, like, when I'm just silent and just kind of like, say I'm in a waiting room or something, you know, for example, that's how my face would probably look. If I were an anime character, of course. I see, anyway, it looks really good. You really are amazing. Thanks, I'm glad I could draw you. You're an interesting person. You're an interesting person too, but that didn't help me much. My self-deprecation has no limits today, but Rin ignores it all. I knew that I could never compare, but to see the difference with my own eyes is quite humbling. See, I try to make you look like you think a lot, since you did a lot of thinking. And yeah, I might have overdone the fed up with life expression, but cynics are like that, right? No wonder why I saw myself in that. I am a complete cynic. It's just like, I am an incredibly cynical person, but I tend to kind of keep it down, you know, kind of like, when I'm around people I don't, like, have a lot of familiarity with, I won't let, like, the cynic out of me just, like, pop out. Even people that I actually know fairly well, I'll tend to keep to myself for the most part, just like, because when I do, I would, like, kind of go onto a rant, just, like, about life, philosophy and all that, just kind of go into, what is all this? It's all stupid and bullshit, everything, it's all just a facade, it's a load of crap, it sucks! And then I've got, like, the smaller kind of optimism that's, like, really present in my mind, but sometimes it's like, you know what, maybe life really is pretty shit, but why not work to improve it rather than to simply accept the status quo? So I do have some optimism, but I mostly consider myself very cynical, with a lot of sarcasm. I want to retort something snappy, but Namaya gives me no time to think, ushering us to the door. Hurry up, you two! While we're being chatty, the rest of the club is taking a lead. I quickly pick up our drawings and take them to the teacher's desk before hurrying after Rin, who has already left the classroom. She's not in the hallway, to my surprise. I wonder where she managed to run off to in just a few seconds. Would it be nice to talk more? Well, not that I had much to say, except maybe get back at her for calling me a cynic. It's surprisingly late. I already get used to school ending at the same time every day, so I can feel the extra hours in my head and my guts. My growling stomach reminds me that I am absolutely ravenous. I'm so hungry that I dare to try something the cafeteria staff has deemed edible. Even when I see today's delicacy, fried mystery lumps, my steel resolve doesn't fade. I stuff the dinner down without tasting it at all, which is probably for the best. Don't have much homework to do, but what little I have won't get done by itself, so I stroll towards the dormitories. Preparing for the post-homework lull, I knock on Kenji's door. He responds from the other side, although I can't make out what he said. I try the door, but it's locked. After several seconds, the locks click open, and he opens the door. Hi, hey, could I borrow a book? The library was already closed after I got away from my club meeting. He is squinting even more than usual, and his eyebrows are twitching nervously. Club? That's dangerous, man. Indoctrination, grouping, brainwashing, you name it. High school clubs now sow the seeds of conspiracy. Do you know how many secret societies have grown from high school clubs? Watch your back and don't get too deep in. You might not come back. You know, it's funny, when he said that about the school, I was just like, immediately came to mind. I remember, like, reading about, like, some cult that was started as a club in a school, and, like, it's just like, maybe Kenji's onto something, but I think it's less of, yeah, all clubs are clearly just cults, where some bastard is brainwashing them. It must be. I think that's probably, well, it has happened, but obviously you don't go into a club and expect it's like, yeah, I know you club members, you're really just a cult and you're trying to fool me and brainwash me, but it's not the case. But sometimes you never know. Okay, Kenji, so how about that book? Sure, but return them and don't spoil any of my books. No drinks, no food stains, no bodily fluids. Kabit? Sure, thanks. So let me in, he retreats from the door, closes it again. After a few seconds, he returns with a stack of free thick books and hands them over to me. Opening the topmost one, a familiar emblem stamped on the copyright page greets me. Your books, these are from the school library. They are now mine. stollies? What are you talking about, man? I've been liberating these from the oppressive feminist movement that controls the library. Please say oppressive feminist movement doesn't mean that poor librarian girl Yuko. She couldn't even oppress a wet towel. Kenji turns away, mumbling something I can't make out, and closes the door behind him. Before going to my own room, I enter the bathroom. While washing my hands, my eyes catch my reflection from the mirror above the sink. I try to look for the hymnus rinse on me, but it's just the usual me inside the mirror that stares back. He's like, now thinking, it's like, you know where I've never noticed this antenna-like hair thing going on here. It makes me look like an apple. I'd never noticed that before. I attempt to tell myself that this is what I always look like, but I realize I don't remember what I looked like half a year ago. You know, honestly, when I, wake up and I see myself in the mirror, my hair literally goes up like that. Like, not quite like that, but it's like all over the place. Like, it just like, doop, doop, doop. It'd be all over the place. It's like, what the hell?